so excited. I'm sorry I haven't been on for a while, but thank you to all of you who stayed subscribed. Today I'm going to be talking about favoritism, and that's a kind of a tricky topic and something that I struggle with personally a lot, because we all know that we all have teachers that play favorites, and it can get really annoying, and it's really hard for me to focus and not get really frustrated at the teacher. Last year I had like at least one teacher that played favorites every week, and it would just get really annoying. And so I've developed some tips and tricks on how to not let that get to you, and how to keep yourself focused, and how to deal with that. The first thing that I have to say is there are two ways that you can go about this. You can either decide not to care about that teacher and whatever he does, she does, it doesn't matter. The second thing that you can do is you can try to get into her be her favorite, be the teacher's favorite. And so I'll give you tips for each of those. Section number one, what to do if you don't care about the teacher anymore. So there are those teachers that play favorites and they're not very good teachers in general. So it's a good thing for you to just, if they're going to play favorites, let them do what they want and just worry about yourself. So my tips are, one, don't get frustrated, because it's easy to see the teacher only paying attention to one person and just get really annoyed, and that's something that I easily get annoyed at. But just calm yourself and just remind yourself that you don't care about what that teacher thinks, especially if the teacher isn't involved in casting or anything. I mean, of course, if that teacher is involved in casting, you want to be careful about what you portray, and especially on your face. Even if you're frustrated at the teacher, don't show it. And also, don't act like you don't care about what the teacher says, because the teacher is still your teacher. So at any rate, you can't just totally push them out, because they're still teaching you. So number one, don't get frustrated, but then number two, at the same time, don't show disrespect or anything rude like that. My third tip is to give yourself corrections, and that's a pretty basic one. But that also corresponds to number four, which is look at the teacher who's correcting the other person and see how that applies to you. So those are my 4 tips for if you don't care about the other teacher. Now, if you do care about what the other teacher thinks and you want to become one of their favorites, here are my tips to get yourself in their favorites. So one thing that you can do, number 1, look at the things that they're correcting on the other dancer on, and see, make sure you aren't doing that, because then they might recognize that. Number 2, if they're saying nice about that one person or whatever, or good job, see if you're doing that, and that can be a correction. So if they say something good about another dancer, that should be a correction for you to try to improve that to be on par with that other dancer. Number 3, that's number 3. Number 3, you want to get in a group with not so good dancers. Now this is kind of my own personal weird tip, because you don't want to go in the same group as the favored dancer, because then the teacher's just always going to look at the favorite dancer and not look at you. So always go in the lower groups. And I had a teacher, and she would put all the good dancers in one group and then all the bad dancers in the other group, which was kind of annoying because she would always put me with the bad dancers, and I was like, excuse me. But that gives you a chance to shine. So be grateful for that if your teacher automatically places you, and if they don't, get in that group, because then it shows her how much better you are than the other dancers, even if it's an unfair comparison. So that's my tip number 3. My last tip is to be friendly with that teacher, and that's obvious, kind of obvious, but don't be overly friendly and go up and hug her after class or anything, but just show that you care about her combinations And a good thing that teachers like is when you instead of marking it and doing weird like arms, when you actually do it full out, because then they can kind of see you. Like if you mark with the music before, you don't have to, like for adagio, put your leg all the way up because that's kind of overboard. But just like show her that you care about each and every one of her combinations, and it shows the teacher that you are trying. And so yeah, those are my tips for favoritism and how you can best deal with that. If you have any more suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I'm going to try to post more often, but you know it's hard as the school year goes on. But I will be trying to post more, so stay tuned and don't unsubscribe. So subscribe if you haven't already down below. Comment, like, share, subscribe, whatever. Favorite, whatever you do on YouTube. And I'll see you all later. Bye!